In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to crochet the shells of one color beanie in adult women's size. This pattern can be made with a double or single brim. For more information and links to the written pattern, please check out the drop-down description box below, or visit my website, jonnamartinez.com. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy content like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Now let's get started. For materials, you will need an H 5.00mm crochet hook, a worsted weight yarn of your choice, a pair of scissors, a yarn needle for weaving in ends, and you will need a tape measure for this pattern. Create a slip knot of your choice. Again, we are making the adult women's size in this video. This hat is made from the brim up, chain 25 for the double brim, or 13 for the single brim. Once you have a chain of 25 or 13, half double crochet into the second chain from hook. Then half double crochet into each chain all the way down your work. Once you have completed your first row, this is what your work should look like. I am now going to measure this first row for the double brim. It should be about 6 inches or 15 centimeters. Again, this is the length for the double brim. The single brim should measure about 3 inches or 7.5 centimeters. Chain 1 to begin row 2. For this row, we're going to be half double crocheting in the back loop only. Looking at our work, we have our chain 1 right here, and then we have our first stitch. This stitch has 2 loops, a back loop and a front loop. We're going to be working into the back loop only. Working from the top of the stitch, you're going to grab the back loop only. Then complete your half double crochet. You can place a stitch marker into this very first stitch, as it likes to be rounded and is hard to see on the way back. Next, we're going to be just half double crocheting back loop only into each stitch all the way down our work. This creates a ribbing and a beautiful texture to the brim of the hat. Continue all the way down your work, and once I complete this row, I will meet back up and show you how it's looking. Here I am at the very end of row 2, and as you see, we have a little bit of a rounding to that first stitch. Just half double crochet into the back loop only, just as before. Chain 1. Now we're going to repeat row 2. So just half double crochet, back loop only, into each stitch all the way down your work. Again, you might want to place a stitch marker into that rounded first stitch. Then move your stitch markers up as you go. We're going to repeat this row 2 until our work is about 21 inches long, or about 53 centimeters. Once I have completed this long strip of rows, I will show you how my work is looking. For tutorial purposes, I decided to switch to this Lion brand ombre yarn, and it's also just a worsted weight yarn, and this is the colorway Harmony. Once you have about 21 inches of row, this is what your work should look like. Of course, it will be about half as wide if you're only doing the single brim. Be sure your work is laying on a hard, flat surface for measuring. You can give it a little stretch and make sure all of the stitches are laying nice and flat. Again, we are looking for about 21 inches or 53 centimeters. Now we are going to seam the brim. Chain 1 and match together the two ends of your brim. You can now slip stitch or single crochet these two ends together. Be sure to keep matching up the ends as you go so they remain even. Once I have completed seaming this together, I will show you what my work is looking like. Here is how my work looks once I've seamed it all together. Now we're going to fold up this double brim. Working like I'm showing you here, you're going to just fold it together. Both ends should be open here at the top. Now I'm going to remove my crochet hook and go from the front and just grab my loop there and slip stitch through. Chain 1, and now we are going to single crochet evenly all the way around the edge of the brim. Of course, with the single brim, you're not going to have this double thickness like this, so you will just single crochet into the very edge of your brim. For me, I'm going to be working through both thicknesses, and we're going to single crochet in 6 stitch sets all the way around our work. So again, in 6 stitch groups or sets, you're going to just single crochet. So counting to 6, and then count again to 6, and make sure you have those sets all the way around the edge. Once I come to the end of my work, I will show you how my work is looking. Here's how my work looks. I have 6 single crochet sets evenly all the way around my work. If you need to adjust your stitches to make sure you can squeeze in the last 6 stitches, you can do that as well. For this hat, I'm going to be making the shells a different color than the hat, so I'm going to be slip stitching with this white yarn. To continue using one color, just slip stitch to the very first stitch you made. Next, chain 1 and single crochet into the same stitch you slip stitched into. Then skip 2 stitches and we're going to shell into this 3rd stitch, meaning we're going to place 7 double crochet all into the same stitch. If you are working with 2 different colors like I am here, you want to leave both colors attached to your hat because as we go, we're going to swap back and forth and carry up the yarn as we go. Skip 2 stitches and now we're going to begin a round repeat. Single crochet, skip 2 stitches, shell, skip 2 stitches, and then we can begin the repeat again. Skip 2 stitches. Here I'm going to complete this shell, and then I will show you what it looks like when I'm finished. You can pause the tutorial here. Okay, so here I want to pause the tutorial and go over the repeat again. The repeat is going to be single crochet, skip 2 stitches, shell, skip 2 stitches. You're going to repeat this all the way around the edge of your work. Once I have completed this repeat, I will show you how my work is looking. Here is how my work looks, working that repeat all the way around the edge. Now I'm just going to slip stitch to the first single crochet that I made. Here I'm going to switch colors again. So I'm going to chain 1 with my blue yarn, carrying it up on the back of my work. I will pull on the white yarn to cinch down that join. Next, chain 3. If you haven't changed colors, you can just chain 3. Then we're going to double crochet into the same stitch we slip stitched into, which is that first single crochet of the previous round. This chain 3 and double crochet will count as our first V-stitch. Chain 5, and skip that previous shell. Working into the next single crochet, we're going to V-stitch. A V-stitch is a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet into the same space or stitch. Now our repeat for this round is going to be V-stitch into your single crochet, chain 5, and skip the shell. Repeat this all the way around. Once I have completed this round, I will show you how my work is looking. Here I have worked that repeat all the way around. I like to call this round the framework round. Now I'm going to slip stitch to the second chain of that beginning chain 3. Now I'm going to switch colors again by grabbing the white yarn and chaining 2 or 3. You can pull that working yarn from the blue like I'm doing here and cinch it down. This chain 2 or 3 will count as your first double crochet. Next, we're going to be working into the center of the very first V-stitch we made on the previous round. Double crochet 6 into that V-stitch. That chain at the beginning is going to count as our first double crochet, so you will have a shell or total of 7 double crochet. Next, we're going to be working over this chain 5, single crochet over chain 5 into the 4th double crochet of the previous shell. Now we can begin the round repeat. Shell into V-stitch. Single crochet over chain 5 into the 4th double crochet of the previous shell. Repeat this all the way around. Once I have completed this round, I will show you how my work is looking. Here I have completed round 3. To end this round, slip stitch into the first chain you made. Here I'm going to switch colors again. Chain 3 or 4, and here I'm going to pull that white working yarn to cinch down the join. Next, we're going to double crochet into the very last single crochet of the previous round. This chain and double crochet is going to count as our first V-stitch. This round is going to be just like round 2, and you're going to chain 5, skip the shell, and V-stitch into your single crochet. Repeat this all the way around. From here, you're going to repeat rounds 3 and 4 until the hat is the proper height. Here I'm going to measure my work. I have repeated round 3 and 4 and ended on a repeat of round 3. Before you measure, you want to make sure your hat is lying on a flat, hard surface and give it a little pull to be sure all of the stitches are lying nice and flat. For the adult women's size, you want your hat to measure to the top of the shell about 8.5 inches or 21.5 centimeters. After I got this measurement, I'm going to make the last framework round or repeat of round 4 in white. And this is what that looks like for me. Now I'm going to slip stitch to my very first chain, and now we can begin the very last round of the hat. Chain 1 and half double crochet into the center of that very first V-stitch. Next, we're going to be half double crocheting into the 3rd, 4th, and 5th double crochet of the shell below. Skip those first 2 double crochet. For this shell, you're going to count that chain as your first double crochet. Then half double crochet into those center 3 stitches. From here, we're going to repeat this all the way around. This is a decrease round, so your hat is going to start cinching in on the top because we have less stitches. The repeat again is going to be half double crocheting into the V-stitch, and then half double crocheting into the 3rd, 4th, and 5th double crochet of the previous shell. Continue working these stitches, and once I come back around to the beginning, I will show you how my work is looking. To complete this round, you're just going to slip stitch to your very first stitch. From here, we're going to cut a nice long tail, because this tail we're going to use to cinch the top of the hat closed. Pull the tail through the last loop on your hook, and attach a yarn needle. You're going to work the tail in and out around the stitches on the top of the hat. Once you get around to the beginning again, you can start to pull the hat tail to close the top of the hat. Keep adjusting the stitches and pulling the tail to close the top. You will be left with this small hole at the top of the hat. It's not much bigger than the other holes on the sides of the hat, but if you don't like that, you can use your yarn needle and make an X stitch at the very top of the hat. Make a knot and secure the hat closed. You can now weave in all the ends of the hat. You want to be sure and work the tails in at least 3 different directions to make sure they are secure. For my hat, I'm going to add this little button to secure the pom-pom. The pom-pom that I purchased has an elastic loop, so this button is going to go on the inside of the hat. If you're interested in these pom-poms, I have them linked in my Amazon storefront. They are super easy to use for hats like this and attach easily and securely with the button. It's also great because you can take them off before washing the hat so you don't damage the pom-pom. Once the pom-pom is secured to the button, I just turn the hat right side out. And now the hat is ready to wear. I hope you enjoy making lots of these beautiful hats. Please be sure to check out the drop-down description box below for additional information. And if you enjoy content like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button. To help support this channel, you can purchase the written pattern for this hat on my Etsy or Ravelry shops. Or the Super Thanks button is available as well and is a great way to donate to the channel. Other ways you can support this channel for free would be to hit the like button, share this tutorial with your friends, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, have a lovely crochet day, and I hope to see you again in my next tutorial.